Hi again. Today I thought I'd discuss a project and a workshop I held yesterday. I'm just starting in a new team here at SVT, the Swedish public service TV provider. This team is building a product which is sort of an evolutionary step of an existing product that we have already. It's aimed at preschool children, and it's very much based on video, this project, on video that we broadcast and now want to show on demand. So the team that I'm in is newly formed, and we also have some new people in there, people who've never worked on kids products before and never been in an SVT context. So I wanted to introduce the team members to the user experience part of the project and get them thinking about all the details that influence the experience that kids can have in the artifact that we'll create together. There is also a lot of creativity among among my teammates, among my colleagues, and they have lots of cool ideas. And so I wanted to harness that for the good of the project and also to get my own creativity flowing. So, in order to accomplish this, I invited the team to a paper mock-up session, and it's really quite simple, but very powerful. So I organized a big room, and I brought lots of stuff like this, marker pens and small pens. I have tape and glue, obviously, more pens. Big A3 sheets of paper and like these plastic thingies that people used a lot actually for like making what's it called, like pop-ups and stuff, and to show which part of the project or of the screen is like active and inactive and stuff like that. So that was very cool. And also, yeah, lots of blank papers, A3 papers and A4 papers that they could cut into and stuff. Yeah. Scissors, obviously, which I didn't bring here today. I also printed a bunch of stuff. These here are, for example, prints from episodes. So this is like in the middle of an episode with this duck character, and this is from another show that we have on. I also brought along like lots of character pictures. We often represent shows with their main character because we know that small kids can identify their favorite very well based on the character that is in there. And then I also brought along this little dragon, which is sort of a symbol here at SVT. So we started the workshop session with a bunch of statements about the project, and these are statements that I've realized over my course here at over time here at SVT, and also that I've discussed and that we've come up with together with the concept developer, me and the concept developer Erik. So, for example, at barnkanalen.se we nowadays try to keep clickable things round. So if there's an arrow icon that a person can click on to scroll something, then that's round, and then there's an arrow in the middle. In our big project Barnplay, which can be found at barnplay.se, we also have the main characters be all round, and we know that works very well. So roundness is clickable. That was one of the statements I gave to the team. So the artifact that we're creating and that the team was tasked with mocking up on paper is a video player. And so we know that player will need a play pause button. If you click it, you start playing, and then you click it again and it'll pause the show. We discussed during this statement part of the workshop whether a volume button is actually needed in the interface. And the conclusion was that it's probably not needed because all the devices that the kids actually use the artifact on already have volume controls. You know, an iPad have them on their side, and a landscape iPad is actually our main viewing device for this project. So already during this, what was meant to be sort of a to give the team instructions, already here the workshop gave results, which we'll incorporate into the project as a thesis. So the videos in the player will be quite short, perhaps 5 minutes long, but they will be part of a larger show. So you have the show, which is like, yeah, quite long, for a 3-year-old at least, quite long. And then it's divided into segments where each segment is sort of a show or an episode. So I asked the team if the kids will want to scrub within each episode. You know, go from minute 1 to minute 2 within one episode. Or if it was enough to just jump between videos, or even just between the shows.
Det är ju då indelningen. Säg att du har en halvtimmespolygon på, så är det först draken som presenterar och sen är det byggare Bob. Ja, då är det liksom, då är det kapitlet innan.
Och där vill man kanske kunna byta mellan. För att annars skulle du bara kunna se en hel...
Ja, det är som jag tänkte, att det kanske skrubbandet kanske är onödigt då. Det kanske bara förstör att man klickar, utan att det är kapitlen som man klickar. Som man hoppar mellan. Det finns en liten symbol för byggare Bob och sen trycker man på den och sen hoppar den över dit.
As you can see in the video, the discussion ended with the team being quite happy to have each episode be that the kids can jump to each episode within the show, but that there's no need actually to scrub within the episodes because they are so short. And this became one of the foundations for all the mock-ups that the team did, and it's also something that we'll bring into the project in general to start off with. We will evaluate it, of course, once we have a basic video player in production, possibly even before that with sort of a mock-up and do usability testing with kids to see if they sort of expect there to be scrubbing within the episode or not. But not offering scrubbing is a simplification for the development, and in general it feels like a good starting point.
Man kanske kan ha en sån här inställning att småbarn gillar repetition. Spela det här klippet 60 gånger.
So after these statements and these really good generative discussions, I split the team into 2 groups and gave them their mission for the afternoon. The mission was to create 3 prototypes at least with paper and all the material, and do that in 45 minutes. And I asked them to create at least one sort of crazy or weird prototype, or maybe even produce one which is boring or simply awful, because that kind of exercise can really get people's imagination going, and even from the really bad ones, it's sometimes possible to find a little gem that one can use it to create something good.
Okej.
Men när den expanderar,
då måste vi flytta bort den där grejen också.
går den över det här?
Ja, så det är liksom det pausas som vi tar fram kontrollerna och när den byter någonting.
Ja, precis när man klickar och pausar man, då tas det fram. Ja, det är
men det känns ju skitbra.
Då har vi 2.
2 stycken redan.
Ja.
2 stycken är klara.
During these 45 minutes that the teams could work on their prototypes, I overheard one of my colleagues, Emma, say things such as, "Here one can collect ice cream," and let's make this a bandit, which is like sort of weird to hear in a discussion about a video player. But I really like that. It's a sort of a proof to me that that the process works, that it's fun for the participants and creative. So after the groups had created all of their prototypes, we presented them to the groups presented them to each other, and I asked my colleagues to jot down their favorite parts from the other groups' prototypes. That way I can compose a sort of instant shortlist of good ideas, and those are ideas that I might not have like noticed during the presentation. So it's a way of getting all of those good ideas on paper instantly.
Här är så här, den här mer tråkigaste. För att vi vill göra en tråkig också. Då har vi sen spelare. Man trycker på play, då får man spela och se. Vi har en länk till spelvärlden här vid sidan om. Vi har olika dagar. Som att man har 5 dagar på rad. Och sen får man se den första ikonen på var man är någonstans. Här ligger det någon form av navigering inom själva avsnittet. Så det här är dagar och det här är inom avsnittet.
And here behind me are 9 of the 10 prototypes with lots of little glue and stuff and lots of dragons. Here we see this one, which is like that, and here we have lots of arrows. So to me this workshop was a great success. The team created a lot of cool, fun and useful interaction ideas, and my colleagues also started thinking about the product that we are creating and how that product will be used and experienced by the kids. Towards the end, Ali, one of my colleagues, said this was a really fun exercise.